2024 was one of Ninjago's best years in terms of sets, so today I'm going to be ranking the top 10 Ninjago sets from 2024, starting off with number 10, Jay's Mech Battle Pack. Now, honestly, the build in this set is pretty forgettable. Honestly, it's probably pretty bad. But the reason that this set is on this list is because of the minifigures. This $10 set comes with 4 minifigures, which is crazy, and it's a great value. And all of those 4 minifigures are great. From an exclusive J to an amazing Sensei Lloyd minifigure to 2 generic bad guys for this season, this minifigure selection was awesome and a must-have for any Ninjago fan. Next up, going into number 9, we have Kai's Elemental Fire Mech. Now, the reason this one was on the list is because of the 2 mechs. I especially love Kai's Elemental Fire Mech. I think it's super sleek and super bulky at the same time, and perfectly fits the robotic aesthetic that it was going for. The minifigures in this set also aren't too bad, this being the cheapest way to get Jordana, and also getting Kai and Zane, along with an equal wolf mask mech to fight alongside Kai's mech, makes it a great value and a great 2-in-1 set, which I think would be really fun to play with for kids. Next up at number 8, we have another Kai mech. This time, it's Kai's Ninja Climber mech. Now honestly, I really like this mech. This mech just has such a fun, cool, and goofy look to it, especially with how thin the legs are, but I think that they pulled off the look really well. It's definitely a very unique look, I can say that for sure. And this set has one of the most creative play features in a mech that I've ever seen. You see these hooks in the back? You can attach those to things, and you can hang the whole mech just by the hooks. And I think that play feature is just really nice, and I can imagine a lot of people having fun with it. The minifigure selection is also pretty good, getting the Climber versions of Kai and exclusive Climber J. This is also a way to get the new Wildfire minifigure, especially just because of how good the mech is. I'm going to be putting it on this list. Next up, at number 7, we have another $70 set. This time, it's Egalt the Master Dragon. Now, let's first get the minifigures out of the way, because I think they're the less interesting part. Getting Lloyd and Nia is fine, but we get them in cheaper sets. Same for Cinder and Sora, but Roz is definitely the main highlight of this set. This is, I think, the cheapest way to get this version of Roz. But now, going on to the dragon, which I think is the main reason this set is even on this list, I just love how much personality this dragon has. Especially with the Sensei Wu hat and the beard, it just makes this guy feel like a real character rather than just a regular dragon. I think just because of how much personality this guy has, he's gonna be number 7. Next up, at number 6, we have the Tournament Battle Arena, and this one's another fantastic set because genuinely I cannot find a single flaw with this set. The minifigure selection is great. All 6 of these minifigures are super desirable and great. Getting Sora, Kai, the awesome new Evil J, Cinder, the exclusive Tox, and this being the cheapest way to get the Wolf Mask Warrior, not counting the polybag. I think that the minifigure selection is really great, but the build is also not bad either. It's definitely a great playset, and you have lots of room to pose minifigures and play with those minifigures as well. I think this is going to be a great set to just put on a shelf and display minifigures on, but it's also a great set to play with as there are many fun and cool play features. So I think, all in all, this set's just such a good one. I'm going to have to put it at number 6. Now entering the top 5, we have the Dragonstone Shrine. Now, again, the minifigures are pretty lackluster in this one. For some reason, we get the Season 1 versions of Kai and Nia instead of the Dragons Rising Season 2 versions, which is a bit weird. But getting the exclusive Euphrasia and Wu is nice. And another way to get Sensei Lloyd and Roz is pretty cool. But all in all, I feel this minifigure selection could have benefited with just 1 or 2 more minifigures, especially considering that this set is $120. But where this set really shines has to be the build. I think that the dragon was sculpted really well on this one. This build is super densely packed, which does make it seem small, especially for $120. But I think just because of how much detail this build has, it more than makes up for the price. Just because of how beautiful the dragon looks, I'm going to put it at number 5. Next up at number 4, we have the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo. Now, speaking of the build, this build is kind of plain. By no means is it bad, and I think it looks really good, especially with the wolf head, but I think that it's a bit 2D, it's a bit flat. It's just kind of a gate. But where this set really shines has to be the play. This set is just so fun to play with. Like the tournament battle arena, you have this arena in the middle that I think is great, and you can fight with minifigures that I think works really well. Speaking of playing with minifigures, this set comes with quite a few good minifigures, especially getting the exclusive Lloyd, Nia, and Zane in one set is fantastic. This is also a way to get Roz, Jordana, and Cinder, along with the Wolf Mask Warrior, who are basically all the villains you ever need in this season. So I think all in all, this set is just a great package. It's great for kids. It might not be as good as, say, the Dragonstone Shrine for like collectors who just want to display their build, but I think that this, just because of how great of a playset it is, it's going to be number 4. Now going into the top 3, we have the Tournament Temple City. It's really beautiful to look at. I mean, if you just look at the temple and the color scheme, it's really nice. But it's also really fun to play with. And there's lots of space to put minifigures, especially in the rocky terrain underneath. Now, I don't really love the temple. I think it could have been done better, but there's no denying that the temple is really, really good. Next up, going into the minifigures, there are 13 minifigures, and similar to the Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo, if you buy this set, you pretty much have all the minifigures you'll ever need for Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2. All in all, I think this set is great for display, great for play, and just has some fantastic minifigures, so that's why it's going to be top 3. Next up, with number 2, we have Cole's Titan Dragon Mech, and let's first get the minifigures or minifigure out of the way. We get this Mech Pilot Cole. That is pretty nice. I do feel that the mask just pops a bit too much out, and they could have used another mask, but not that big of a deal. All in all, this minifigure is pretty okay. But where most of the tension is on this set has to be the actual mech. And this mech is hands down the best Ninjago mech ever released. First of all, it has so much posability. I mean, it genuinely has posability that even humans don't have. It has joints everywhere, and not only that, it's super stable too. Like, this guy's not gonna be falling over. Not only that, this mech also looks fantastic. It's so bulky and so huge that it just has such a massive presence and just towers over anything else in your collection if you have this. I really love how the designers put all of the focus on this mech, as it really makes this mech shine, and it's definitely one of the best Ninjago sets ever. Now going into number 1, my favorite set of 2024 is the Source Dragon of Motion. Again, talking about the minifigures because they are pretty uninteresting in this one. We get the same Dragons Rising Season 2 version of Wildfire that we got earlier this year, but it's nice to see that she's still coming in sets. We also get Kai, who's technically non-canon. We also get a Wolf Mask Warrior and the new version of Eren. Eren I don't really love. I don't think he really fits the ninja as well, but I guess that's purposeful because he's not really a full-on ninja yet. This set also comes with Jordana and Lord Raz, who I think are great inclusions. This is the cheapest way to get Lord Raz, Jordana, and Eren, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to pick up this set. Minifigures aside, now getting into the actual dragon build, the actual Source Dragon of Motion is phenomenal. I love how big and bulky this is. I love how the body is built, and it has so much articulation, and again, is pretty stable despite being so big. The wings are also pretty good. I love how they look like there's fire coming out of them. And the head, while I don't think is gray, I think it fits well. And I like the use of climber hooks as horns for this dragon, as this dragon is supposed to be a huge dragon. Now we also get this wolf throne on top of the dragon, and I'm really not sure what this is, as spoilers, but it never appeared in the show. But nevertheless, it is a cool inclusion. So all in all, I think just because of this dragon and a pretty good minifigure selection, this set is gonna be the best set of 2024 for me. So guys, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching all the way through. Make sure to subscribe and watch this video on the end screen now. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.